All right, party people, grab your beverage because it's going to be another long one with the crazy train. We're going on a ride, and this time we are talking about the Women Who Rock project. Before I get started, you know what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to please do all of the things. Thank you so much for all of you who always do that for me. Okay, so let's talk about this project and the craziness that ensued. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, this project started August 26th of 2022. So this is my first update. That is Women's Equality Day. It will run until August 26th of 2023. We have got pretty much no rules aside from the fact that I think we update monthly using the hashtag WomenWhoRockPP. The creators of this project are the lovely ladies who rock, Cece, the diva next door, Kim from Teacher Loves Beauty, and Ruth, whose channel is Ruth Foley. They did this in collab with the Fantastic Ladies group. Everybody's going to be linked down below, as usual. And anything I forgot should be in there too, because I'll probably forget something. That's how it goes. So, when I decided to do this, because they let us do this kind of at our own pace, and we could bring in as many or as few projects or items as we wanted, and I brought in most of them, but not all of them, and yeah, chaos, complete chaos. So here's what I had brought in last month, and here's where we're at. The first prompt was Spice Girls, a product you really, really, really want to pan. For that, I had brought in my little bitty NARS. This is the Velvet Gloss Lip Pencil in New Lover. Now, it's tiny, and honestly, I've only used it the once, but I can't make a new line yet. I'll get there. This one is going to be a little bit more long-term on a lot of my goals, so you're going to have to bear with me on this. All right, then the next one is Beyonce's Run the World Girls, and that is a product from a female-owned brand. For that, I had brought in this Aether single, for which I don't actually have a name. It was some kind of a Sephora set, and it just had the one single, and I don't know if the name was on the packaging and I threw it away, or if it didn't have a name on it, or what it was. This was the very first item I ever got from Aether. So I brought this in, and I don't know if oh yeah, you can see it on my finger. That's good. I brought this in for 20 uses. It is a gorgeous shiny pink, and I have so far gotten 9. I really love it. It's great right under the brow. Love that shade. It's just perfect for me. So then the next one is Rachel Platten's Fight Song, a product you have to fight to open or fight to use up. Well, that one I went with the obvious. I went with the lip gloss. This is from Rare Beauty, and this is in the shade Nearly Mauve. It's just a small one. It's a 0.1 ounce, 3 milliliter. It started at 27.2 grams. I have used this 2 different occasions, and we are now down to, oh, I'm making a mess, 27.0 grams. So the sloppy swatch here is the gloss. I really like it. It's not a super thick or goopy one, so it's not one I hate. And I figured it was small enough I might actually be able to finish this, which is ultimately the goal. And then we had Jane Goodall, so a cruelty-free item. Yeah, let's not run all that together. That is 3 separate words. I brought in my Alien Cosmetics in the Dark palette. And the goal with this was to use each shade twice. And I've done that. This is beautiful, you guys. These colors are so fun. And we've got 2 really fun shades in here. You can see that they are a little bit different. But I actually like all of these shades. I like the purples, of course, you know that by now. But I like those smoky grays and that kind of smoky blue too. They're very pretty. Okay, I don't know if those 2 are going to show up as distinct and separate, but maybe you can see them. Either way, that actually is a rollout. So that is the first one. We have a rollout. Yay! We have no room. My desk is a very, very old piece that went with the original bedroom set, and I have so much crap on it that I never have enough space. So that one is finished. All right, then the next thing I had in here, because I had gotten an older copy of the prompt list, and I think it was modified, so I had Coco Chanel in here, and I don't think she's on the list anymore. But the quote was, "You could be gorgeous at 30, charming at 40, and irresistible the rest of your life." So it was a high-end product. And I had this little Tatcha liquid silk canvas primer, and it was just a 5 gram what does it say? 0.17 ounce. And I did finish this. So this is also rolling out, which is good because it's not on the list for everybody else. There are only 20 prompts. For some reason, I had 21. But that's okay. That's okay. The next thing I brought in was Sacagawea, a product that helps out your skin or makeup look. And I had brought in one of the travel size of the Smashbox Photo Finish Primers. I have been working on one. I was going to finish it off and then start on the new one. Well, I did not remember that I had another primer that I already had set up to start, which I'm glad I did, because it's actually a good way for me to compare. So I'm currently using the NYX Angel Veil, which I thought was my favorite until I started using the Smashbox. And I found out that I really am fond of those silicone type primers, and I love the Smashbox to the point where, yes, I did get the full size, but the one that I had slated for this project, I packed. So I have not started it. It is going with me to Arizona. We'll get to that. And it doesn't take me long to go through them, so it's not anything I'm worried about, but that was just me being me, and my planning went awry. What can I say? Okay, so then I had in number 14, Frida Kahlo, a pop culture product or Latino brand. For that, I brought in the Rare Beauty lipstick that went with that gloss that I had gotten in a set. It was this little set from Sephora that I got last year at their VIB sale or whatever it was. And this is in the shade Sincere. Now, if you look at it, I think you can tell that, yes, I have used it one day. So just a little bit, not enough to make a new mark on my card, but enough to at least show a little bit of progress. And it's almost like a glossy lipstick. So it is definitely not matte. It is, I wouldn't even call it satin. It's really glossy, so it is definitely a frequently reapply type of thing, but I absolutely love it. It wears off beautifully where you don't have a weird line, and it comes off kind of like a thin gloss does. So it's kind of, wow, epic descriptions here, you guys. Really, really good. It's not necessarily balmy, but it kind of feels that way. When you put it on, it feels nice and silky smooth and slippery, and it's somewhat hydrating. It doesn't have a long-lasting thing. You have to apply it every time you eat or drink or whatever. But I figured that would be good because then I could probably finish the whole thing. So that's the goal. And then I had Ruth Bader Ginsburg. This quote is, "People ask me when there will be enough women on the court. My answer is when there are 9. So we were to use a 9-pan palette 9 times. And I know there was some confusion about this. I took it to be just use the palette itself 9 times, not use each of the 9 shades 9 times. So that was what I set up for a goal. And I brought in the Fantasy Cosmetica Sorcerer palette. And they just came out with their, I don't even know if the new one's been launched yet, but the new one is already been promoted, hyped. I don't know what it, anyway, this is the second palette. Comes with a nice mirror. These are the shades. And so far, what all have I used? I know I've used Arcane. I think I used Polymorph and Wild Magic, this really pretty blue. So I want to try and get to all of the shades because I really want to play with these down here too. But I've gotten 3 uses. I still have 6. And I'm trying to hit every pan. Well, hopefully remember I didn't do a card for this one. I just have it on my list and I just mark down whenever I use a shade. So that one is staying in the project. All right, then I had Harriet Tubman, and this is a black-owned makeup brand. For that, I went with the Mented Liner in pink. The goal on this is to finish. I brought it in new. You can kind of see the shade there, and we're going to start up here. It's a neutral color for me. It's a little bit deep, but it doesn't pull too brown on me, so I do rather enjoy that. I have used this 2 different times, but now I was able to make a really big significant mark on my card. So I don't know if my start line was goofy or what I had done, but we're going to use it till it's gone, so we'll figure that out. The next is Julia Child, so this is a food-themed item. And for that, I brought in the Glamlight Hershey's Kisses palette in Special Dark. This one is the purple palette. And I had set a goal on this to use each shade 3 times, and this one I actually used 4. But I have used every single shade 3 times. And I love this palette, you guys. It's exactly what you'd expect from Glamlight. Every good thing you've heard, that is exactly what this gives me. And it's, of course, one of my faves because it's all purple. Gotta love that. So this one's actually a rollout. So that's 3 that we've actually finished. Should be proud of me. Okay, then I have Maya Angelou. And the quote with this is, "You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like air, I'll rise." And so for this, it is a product that gives you volume or plumps. And I brought in this really unique Christophe Robin Cleansing Volumizing Paste. And my goal, this is a 1.35 ounce. My goal was to use this until I finished it. It doesn't smell the greatest, but I am not sure if I'm going to finish this or not before I go. I'm going to try. I might not get there. I might still have a use on it when it's time for me to leave, but this isn't something I want to carry with me. And this is the funkiest stuff I have ever used. See if I can... It's super, super thick, and it really is gritty. So you smear that around your hands. What I do, at least, is I smear it around, rub it in with my fingertips all through, dip my head back under the running water of my shower, and then it lathers up. And the grittiness kind of feels like a scalp scrub, but then it melts. Basically, the gritty doesn't stay, so when you're rinsing it out, it's just lathery. So it's interesting. I don't hate it, aside from I don't love the smell, but that's just a me thing. And I think it does actually, well, you can't tell the day. I used it this morning when I washed my hair, but that was, I think we're going on 16 hours ago, and I don't seem to have a lot of volume now, but the first time that I used it, it actually did feel like it was giving me some volume. So I don't have thick hair, I just have a lot of it, so it gets kind of weighted. So I think it helps. I don't know, but it's a unique experience, so I'm glad I'm trying it. Like I said, fingers crossed I'll get to finish it all. I may or may not, because there's, I don't know, maybe 3 uses left. I'm not sure. So I'll give you a picture of wherever I end up when I'm done with it. Then I had in Marie Curie, and her quote is, "I am one of those who think, like Nobel, that humanity will draw more good than evil from new discoveries." So this is a product that I have newly discovered. And with that, I have my Looksy shadow in Stormy Morning. And this one I put in for 10 uses. That's what it looks like on the finger. And, well, you know me, it's a purple sparkly shade. Of course I'm going to love that. So far I have only gotten to use that 2 times though. So that one is going to go back into the Z palette, and that'll be coming with me. Okay. So now that we've talked about everything that I had in, where I'm at, what I've finished, I was thinking about it, and I thought, well, I've got most of the prompts in. I'm finishing 3. I might as well just roll everything in, because I already had plans to take certain things with me anyway. So I might as well just go ahead and roll them all in now, and then we'll get to where we are. It's just going to happen organically. So let's go through what I had not yet rolled in that I'm going to. Oh, not my hand's sticky from that hair goop. Okay. So this one is actually, oh, I'm throwing my cards in the wrong spot. This one actually kind of amused me because I've seen a lot of other people get this prompt, and I don't think a lot of people know who this is. So this is Helen Reddy. Helen Reddy is actually a singer. Is she Canadian? I think. The title of her song is I Am Woman, and it's I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar. And a lot of people think that's a quote, and I was looking at it to just kind of looking back to see, I know the song because my mom likes Helen Reddy, so I grew up hearing this song. Because the video I found is from 1971, which means that the song is only a couple years younger than me. So the only reason I really do know it is because of my mom. And I'm going to link the video that I found in the description box if you guys want to go give it a listen. She was a great singer, absolutely perfect for the time that she was popular. I do not know anything about her currently, okay? She's a very beautiful woman. Great voice, and a very empowering song, especially at that time. Now, keep in mind, the video I found was from 71, and I think that might be the year of the song. I'll double check and put it in the description box for you. I was born in 1969, and I've told you before that at that time, because my mother was pregnant, she was automatically terminated at 8 months. There was no FMLA, there was no maternity leave or any of that kind of stuff. So it's very interesting to have such a strong, powerful song that became so famous and became anthemic from that time period. So that's just a personal, I've always been impressed by her and that song. So that was my history lesson for the day, because you know, if it's music, I'm going to go off on a tangent. Crazy train. Okay, so for this, they had set it up for a product that gives you confidence. Now with this, I went with a BK Beauty lipstick. I had gotten their rose set, it wasn't the nude set. It was the second set that Lisa came out with. And this is all of like the pink shades, and it is the satin lipsticks. For this one, I chose Inner Beauty, because I think that if you can find the inner beauty in yourself, in other people, that's something that boosts confidence. It's not about the outer, it is about feeling good about who you are. And I think that makes you a more confident person. So I liked the idea of putting Inner Beauty in for this prompt. So this is the lipstick, and I've only worn this once. That's what it looks like. And that's it right there. You see a theme here with my colors? You notice how they're all really similar? Yeah. I have a specific taste. It is what it is. So with this, I'm going to do 5 uses. And because of having really old eyes, the print is really small, but the colors are also on the boxes, so I keep these in the boxes so I can differentiate them. I know. Just another insight into how this crazy works. Okay, so the next one that I am bringing in is Krista Mcauliffe. This is the woman who was a teacher who was picked to go on the Challenger space shuttle, which launched and basically exploded. I was in high school when this happened, and you got to remember, I'm old, so this is back in the day. They had brought the TV into the classroom on the cart, plugged it in. It was televised on the local stations. So I remember sitting in the classroom and watching this and just being horrified. And I mean, everybody, you know, we're teenagers at this point, so I don't know how old I was, 16 maybe, dead silent. Like even my teacher, and we just all kind of sat there not knowing how to react. I mean, it was unbelievable to see that happen. And it was just horrifying and heartbreaking. Not only for like all of the people who had worked so hard to do this, but it was such a big deal when she was picked to be part of this program. So to have it end that way and to see it like in real time was unlike anything any of us had ever seen before. And it literally shut up an entire classroom of teenagers. None of us even had, I mean, it was other than, oh my God, I can't believe I just saw that, you know, and prayers for the families and stuff like that. We didn't even know how else to react. So, that was depressing. Sorry. That's just my recollection of it because it's something I actually remember living through. With this, the ladies did the prompt as a rising star, a product that rose to the occasion. I took a little bit of a twist on this. I have a notoriously morbid single. The name of this is called 5 Stars. And it sounds a little strange, but for me, just because of how that happened and how I internalized it, the space program was always shooting for the stars, in my opinion. And with all of the press and all the promo that she had gotten, for me to make peace with some of that, I guess I always just thought of her as a star shining in the sky. So that is why I went kind of literal with this, because it's, I don't know, it's how I can reconcile myself with the tragedy. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm bringing this in for 7 uses because there were 7 people that died on that Challenger mission. And so to honor each of them, I wanted to do 7 uses. Oh man, this is going to be a depressingly long video. Sorry. But that's the shade. Okay, when I do that, all you get is shiny from me. But it's a kind of peachy shade, but it's a light peach, almost with a little bit of a gold to it. So it's not super, it looks kind of orangey, but it's not super orange with a lot of yellow to it. So that is what I am bringing in for Krista Mcauliffe. Okay. Clear out all of the depressing energy, and let's move on. Then we have got Rosa Parks, a stand-up product, which I thought was, I don't know if this was intended to be ironic or tongue-in-cheek, but because Rosa Parks wouldn't give up her seat and refused to stand, I thought it was kind of funny that it was a stand-up product because she kind of became the stand-up woman in the movement. Yeah, just roll with me on that. So what I am bringing in is a tube of my Lancome Definicils mascara, because this is one of those that I could always count on. This one is always there for me. And I was going to do the standard 4 months, but I had gotten a message from Deb, and she had suggested that I bring in all of the eye products that I'm bringing in until December 31st, because then I get 3 months use on them, then I can start over, and then I can do them like quarterly and actually keep track, since I'm notoriously bad for throwing these things away when I should. So that's the goal, is to use it and track my uses until the end of this year. Then we'll start over fresh for the new year. Okay, then Princess Diana, something tough but beautiful. And with this, I'm bringing in another BK Beauty lipstick. This time I'm bringing in Acceptance. And I thought that fit Diana. It fit a lot of the fight that she had for her place in the world. And her place as a member of, and then former member of, the royal family. And that she had that kind of clout and used that to her advantage to secure her place, so she was accepted and they couldn't just brush her aside. I watch a lot of documentaries, what can I say? So once again, another nice neutral shade. And that's this one. This one is also going to go in for 5 uses. And with this, the uses are days, no matter how many applications that might be. Because I figured that gives me a fair try. Some days it's 1, some days it's 4. I mean, just, at least then I'm using it with different looks. So that's how I like to do it. Then we have Anne Frank, something that makes you feel brave. For this, we're bringing in the final BK Beauty lipstick that I am pulling into this project. It's a lot of lipsticks and lip liners in here, you guys. This one is self-love. And I think if you have self-love, if you're sure of who you are and you're confident in who you are and you like who you are, you take on challenges, you face situations head on. I think that that is a really big part of being brave, is loving who and what makes you you. So 5 uses again, another nice neutral pinky color. And at least with this you can see by comparison it's a brighter pink. So that is what we are doing for Anne Frank. I know, a lot of lipsticks. Okay, then we go to some fun ones. We've got Martina Mcbride. This one's for the girls, something that makes you feel beautiful. I struggled with a lot of these. I don't know all the time, like, I don't necessarily feel beautiful. Sometimes I feel put together. That's as good as I can go for most days. I decided to bring in the Natasha Denona Ayanna palette. This is one of my favorites, and this was, I think, originally a BoxyCharm. I liked this so much. I bought it on Poshmark because I don't get BoxyCharm. I actually bought 2 of them, so I have one in each location. So I'm going to bring this palette in for 5 uses. It's a 5-pan palette. I'd like to do 5 looks, basically, with this color story. And it's a standard me kind of cool neutral. That was stupid. I just tried to swatch on a Band-Aid. Wow. Okay then. Back to what I was saying. It's your standard neutral kind of color story. How did I do that? We're going to try this again, and we're going to try and not swatch the Band-Aid, first of all. Goodness gracious, what am I doing? You would think at the rate I'm going that it was early morning or something, and it's not. Okay, that one's a little bit harder to see. I literally got eyeshadow all over a Band-Aid. And I don't edit these things. You guys get to see all of the goofy things I do. It makes it fun. Okay, so those are the 5 colors. This one is a very, very neutral on me. Really good transition shade. And a couple of shimmer shades in there. Really nice deepening up matte. So that is the Ayanna, A-Y-A-N-A. Yes, that is how it is spelled. And, oh, what is it called? Harlow Lash Lane Satin Skin Crease Original and Glam Green. And it's more of an antique metallic to me. I don't think it really pulls all that green. And it doesn't, well, my eyes are kind of greenish, so maybe it does on me and I don't know the difference. But that's what we're doing with that. Okay, now we have Katy Perry. So we have Roar, a product that makes you feel fierce. Once again, not necessarily something I think about, so a little harder to figure out. But for me, I think fierce a lot of times is attitude. So I am bringing in, and you've seen this before for me, this is Touch of Glam, and this is IDGAF. That's right. And when you don't give a, you tend to be a little bit more fierce. That's what I'm going with, at least. I kind of figured not caring about other people's opinions, and it's once again a being happy with yourself thing, leads to the confidence, and confidence is what makes you fierce. So, and this one has a nice shift to it too, but it's, you know, of course it's my pinky purpley. And with that one, I am putting it in for 5 uses also. All right, then we have got Madeleine Albright. The quote here is, "It took me a long while to develop a voice, and now that I have it, I'm not going to be silent." And this is a product wanting to be noticed in your collection. And I was struggling with this, and I could not figure out what I wanted to do. And I realized this is the answer. This is, mine is Alien Cosmetics. This was the first one I got, and I think it was right around when they changed to Unearthly. This is the Hauntingly Glamorous palette. I have had this. I brought it with me to Arizona last year, brought it home with me, and was planning on bringing it back again. I love this palette. I absolutely positively love it. But it intimidates the crap out of me, and I haven't used it. Or like maybe just once. Yeah, just a couple little dips here and there, like a couple shades. That's about it. So I'm bringing this in, no pan left behind. Like I said, I was planning on taking this one with me anyway, and I love these colors, but now red is not a great look for me. You know, so we're gonna have to figure it out. And we've got kind of a funky teal, so that'll be an interesting one to pull off. You know, sometimes you just gotta step out of your comfort zone. And this is going to be the palette that helps me do that. And like I said, carrying this thing back and forth and not using it is stupid, so I'm putting it in. All right, then I have got Serena Williams. Her quote is, "I don't like to lose at anything, yet I've grown most not from victories, but setbacks. So this is a product you learn to love." That's a little strong, but I'm bringing in a brow gel. Not my favorite thing. In fact, I'm so lazy I had them tattooed because I don't like dealing with them. But I need to have them redone, and I haven't done that yet. And they're graying because, I don't know if you can see it with this light. Like, my hair has a lot of white in it. Oh yeah, there's a good white stripe. My eyebrows are doing that too. So this is the shade, this is the Wow Brow in Taupe. It's the Volumizing Brow Gel. It's in the package. I haven't, and can't, apparently, open it. All right, this is a 0.12 ounce, 3.5 grams, and I am going to finish up the, whatever it is that I'm using now. I'm keeping track of it for something else, and it's getting goopy, and the only time I'm getting product is on the end of the wand, not actually on the wand itself. So this is going to come in, and I will probably not start this until I get to Arizona, because I'll probably try and eke out everything I can out of that one until I leave. So this is going to come in for that. All right, super long update. If you are still here, thank you so much for sticking with me. Give me your favorite emoji in any kind of comment. And that is all I have got. Until next time, see ya. Bye.